This week, we took a look at the theories and concepts of group development. The Hogg and Reed resource introduced us to the idea of group norms, those patterns of thought and feeling that are shared within a group. They also talked about social identity theory, social identity being that part of one's concept of self that derives from group membership. They talked about self categorization theory, which looks at how humans categorize people into groups. The interview with Richard Hackman taught us that teams work best when membership is clearly defined and small. They said 6 people. Teams also work best when the team has a compelling direction or goal and role clarity, and when there are supportive organizational and leadership structures like coaches. Hackman also pointed out that good performance leads to better cohesion, and a dissenting voice helps keep the group smarter and honest. The Hoke, Gronveld, and Kuiper's resource delved more deeply into the goal clarity idea, exploring Locke and Latham's goal setting theory, which explains that goals activate motivational mechanisms that stimulate performance. They identified 4 different mechanisms: direction, effort, perseverance, and strategy. These findings were echoed later on in Google's People Analytics Aristotle study of 180 teams. That study looked at the group norms of high performing teams, and they identified as well the ability to safely be vulnerable, included in a team, and again, clarity of goals as well as identity concepts like purpose and impact as important and critical to high performing teams. The West et al. Study also reflected this idea of being vulnerable and sharing non work related parts of who we are as having an effect on improving cohesion in the team. Forsyth introduced us to concepts of group psychology, echoing Adler's idea of the need to belong and affiliate as being key to an individual's psyche. He talked about social facilitation, or how an individual's performance can be enhanced by working in groups, because groups can help an individual answer that question: who am I? He introduced a number of pros of group affiliation, like satisfying our need to belong, helping us define ourselves and achieve goals and better decision making. He also introduced performance challenges groups face as a result of polarization or leaning towards the extreme view, good or bad, groupthink, or the tendency to amplify the more commonly held thought, again, good or bad, social loafing, or the slacking of off that happens when there are more hands than work, and coordination problems. Forsyth also introduced Tuckman's 5 stages of group development: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Open Education Resource Services for the state of New York, in their online textbook, Principles of Management, show these 5 stages as an undulating S curve, which is interesting because this is similar to the curve Jeff DeGraff uses in his book Innovation Code to describe the development arc for organizing role clarity in group innovation. Duarte and Sanchez use a similar curve in describing the quest paradigm for leading group development in their book Illuminate. Today we're going to look at the similarities between Tuckman curve and the Duarte-Sanchez curve, in particular, how the quest paradigm meets the requirements of the other theorists mentioned today. Forming is stage 1 in Tuckman's model, and where people are being drawn together because of a common problem or stressful situation that needs to be dealt with. In the forming stage, members find ways to categorize the group and place themselves in it. This is similar to what happens in the Duarte and Sanchez dream phase. The torchbearer, or the leader, the lead storyteller, draws on the cohesion of the group categorization through storytelling. We are a band of brothers, and we have a common enemy. According to Sanchez, stories improve understanding and help us make sense of things that have happened to us, like a common problem or a tragedy. And these help make ideas more acceptable and can help us conceptualize the future. They can help a group understand where they should be headed and how to get there. Tuckman's next phase is storming. This mirrors the leap and fight stages of the quest paradigm. There may be internal conflicts among team members or external conflicts, battles to be faced in solving the problem. But again, the quest story and paradigm helps the group make sense of this, puts these experiences into context of the quest, and continues to help the group move forward. The norming and performing stages of Tuckman mirror the climb and arrive phases of the quest as the group coordinates activity and achieves a high level of performance and success. And finally, the adjourning phase of Tuckman mirrors the redream phase of the quest, and that the cohesion comes to a plateau until a new challenge or quest materializes and draws the group back together. A historic example of the torchbearer unifying identity, clarifying purpose, giving direction for effort, strategic context for perseverance is the scene from William Shakespeare's Henry V, the St. Crispin's Day speech. Incidentally, this is the first time the phrase band of brothers was used as a unifying concept to motivate group cohesion and group identity. This same quest paradigm is even leveraged in how we socialize our young through adventure storytelling, so that it is there as a button to be pushed by any leader in the future. In conclusion, the storytelling modality of the quest is a great framework for pulling together many of the ideas of group development in an actionable way.